When most of us buy a pot from a garden centre, we buy it and think, well, that's all you've got to do. Well, after filling the pot with soil, adding a few plants and then watering it every day, it gradually loses its lustre and it's never quite the same. But that doesn't have to happen if you just take one more step when you're at the garden centre, and that's to make sure that you actually seal the pot itself. Now, you can do it with a brand new pot and you're going to make sure that it retains that beautiful look. But you can also do it with old pots that have already got a bit of algae growing on them, or maybe they've had a little bit of the salt or lime come through the outside that's starting to spoil the look. First thing you need to do is make sure you give them a really good clean. Grab a professional pot cleaner that'll allow for excess salts, algae and lime to be washed off. You let the pot dry and then apply a sealer. Bondall, the same people behind the product Bondcrete, have developed this specialised pot sealer and pot cleaner, and it's absolutely brilliant at keeping your pots looking sensational for a long time after you've bought them from the garden centre. This one is a water-based sealant that requires just 3 easy steps to use. The first is preparation, and that means making sure the surface is clean. The second is applying by gently shaking the handy Trigger Pack sprayer and then evenly coating the pot's surface. And the last requires nothing from you at all, just time to allow the pot to dry. The sealant I've used here, it's water-based, very easy to apply. But if you're in a situation where, well, the pots get very, very moist and wet and you have very wet winters, you probably want to use this one. It's an oil-based. You apply it exactly the same way, but it's certainly a harder finish and it's going to protect the pot a heck of a lot more. In both instances, give the pot 2 coatings. The first to ensure that the pores of the pot are sealed, and the second one to soak in and thoroughly cover the surface. The second coat should be applied about 4 hours after the first, and then you let the pot dry for about 48 hours. The oil-based sealer is applied exactly the same way, but being oil-based, you do have to be a little bit more careful with it. And remember, when you clean up, just make sure you've got some mineral terps for it. This water-based, well, it's produced a beautiful finish. And when you think that a beautiful old pot like this is Italian terracotta from Daroma, it's about $150 to buy. So looking after it is going to extend its life and keep it looking good for so much longer. So the next time you buy a pot, grab the sealer at the same time. Give it a bit of a wipe down with the cleaner, seal it all up, and it's going to last for years. Remember, this stuff is from Bondall. You'll buy it down at your local Bunnings store, and it does make the world of difference to the quality of your pots.